Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, move back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal, hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping craze, can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain, you fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze, I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray, there'll come a day, a price to pay like Sally Mae, you in debt. So cast away your regrets, I digress. They regress, they treat girls like objects. They play around like recess, this rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless, a goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset, I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Sitting waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug, look at me like why you bugging? Now they all like what the what? Look at them like why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit I almost did it, turn around and started running. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Yeah, ay. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons, making a list like I'm Steven. This ain't the Garden of Eden, playing this game, it's not even. I come with soldiers and legions, that is my name that you speaking. All of y'all live for the weekend, I don't know what you believe in. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. She rocking the two-piece and look like a snack. Stay out of trouble, but I got a new scheme. I'm sipping on wine while they sipping on that. I done told y'all if I see it, I cop it. You see what we rockin', we drippin' all black. You being off, you seen this deposit. We brought a few bags and there's more in the back. I got riches storing up in heaven. I'm a big gorilla, I got ape aggression. Young and jaded like an adolescent. I'm slightly faded like an evanescent. Brand new villa up on the East Coast. You better come through because we stay progressing. If you roll with us, you better unpack before God teaches you an eternal lesson. Roll with me, you're gonna learn something. Roll with me, you're gonna earn some. We in the forest like we Fern Gully. If it's feeling off, I discern some. Clean hearts, but we stay muddy. Too smart, but we stay study. Staying faced cause we too ugly. All these jokers think they too funny. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack.
We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the key to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them a press for 11, I gave them a stack. I use these words as my weapon, a demon, a session, we killing the pack. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Tryna stay private, but I got them groupies. Owe me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Tryna stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. Check, check, 1, 2, ayy, check, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they tatted. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah that's the thing, happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they tatted. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they tatted. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. They have a cave troll.
Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Marmos.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 29, Hundo and 84 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and Cake 2, flexing on all you beasts. All right, fam. Today's Swole card is GTTFG. Drop in the chat down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. Go to the fucking gym. That's a great Swole card, and we'll give it away at the end of today's episode. A reminder, today is also the last chance to jump on those awesome Swolenormous X memberships. Like I've been saying over and over again, the app is coming along beautifully. It looks amazing, and it's launching soon, later this summer. So definitely join in now and get on the ground level of this, I guess, Swolenormous X 3.0, 4.0, whatever you want to call it, but a whole new era of sick fucking gains. So those of you that are members already, you're about to get an absolute turbocharged bicep right up your crack because it's going to be fucking lit. It's so exciting. So make sure you join now over at swolenormousx.com. Jump on those specials. And of course, cover your nips with the best merch in the game. Today, I am rocking the, which one is this? Marked Safe from Seed Oils. That's some great merch. And we got 20% off over there at papaswolio.com. So absolutely fantastic. And Rufus is back to the ring because we put a balm on him. So now he doesn't have like that spray, but we don't want him licking it. So he likes it though. To be honest, he likes it. I put it on. He doesn't mind it and he sleeps because it's kind of like having a pillow. So I actually just left it on earlier. He doesn't need it right now. He fucking loves it. He never, not once has he ever tried to take it off. It's not a cone, so like that ring is actually pretty comfortable. So he just kind of leans his head. It's funny because he lays there and then has his head up and he's just sleeping, kind of sitting up. It's really funny. So anyway, let's get into some questions. Today is Ask Papa Swolio Live. So without further ado, drop your questions in the comments down below. We will stay as long as we got questions. So drop in the chat. Let's get into the first one.
What's in the box?
First, a question from Kilcon 1620. Papa Swolio, will I always have cellulite or will continued lifting heavy help? It might. I'm not a cellulite expert, and to be honest, I don't really care. People are going to have it. Some people have it. Some people don't. Not lifting will definitely not help, but eating properly, exercising, yoga, Pilates, strength training, all that stuff helps. You know, it's just fat. So the details of what will actually reduce cellulite is really just kind of a result of people not taking care of themselves and trying to undo bad habits. So just get started now, keep lifting. I'm sure it will help to some extent. I think it's a little bit like loose skin, but probably has a higher chance of people being able to reduce that. I know there's red light therapy. There's all different treatments that women do, but definitely you want to lift weights. I'm sure it does help. But in terms of actively targeting that from an aesthetic, superficial standpoint, the way it looks, I'm not a cellulite expert, but definitely lifting heavy is going to help with all aspects of your life. And then if anyone else has any additional inputs, but I would go really more towards what are you eating? What's your lifestyle like? What are your other habits? And then you can always try different treatments and different approaches, but the foundation should be heavy lifting and proper nutrition. So any other thoughts, you can drop it down below. NP, Papa Swolio, I'm on week 2 of the 90-day dash. Cool. I don't fully understand nutrition. Welcome to the club. Yesterday I did wakeboard, mobility SMR, and then some one wheel. The heck is that? Arms are toast today. Can you recommend an exercise for day 14? I don't know. I don't have the program in front of me, so I don't know what day 14. I don't know what that means. I don't remember what day 14 is in the 90-day dash. But intuition, not nutrition. Intuition day. It's exactly what it means. What do you think? What does intuition mean? What do you feel like doing? So I can't recommend anything for you. You choose what. I read it as nutrition. Intuition is whatever you want. Oops. That's what intuition means. So you have to, that's the reason why that's in the 90-day dash is because people kind of, it gets uncomfortable. I get to choose. What do I do? So it's like your first insight into customizing a program and what feels right for me. If you want to do a recovery day and do some more mobility or some Swolga, go for a walk, that's fine. You could take a recovery day or you can do any type of activity you want that you feel good with. That's what intuition is. It teaches you how to start paying attention to what your body wants and what you feel like you need and that type of stuff. So it's your first insight into customizing. Intuition, that's a great day because everyone feels a little bit uncomfortable. I get to choose. What do I choose? I don't want to choose wrong. It's whatever you want. What do you feel like doing today? What do you feel like doing today? I wouldn't say necessarily go like super hardcore, but do some recovery, do a little more yoga, do whatever you feel like doing. Pisak, Isabella, how can I start in crypto? That's an interesting question. First off, I would not touch crypto with a 50-foot pole. Crypto is garbage. Crypto is a scam. Bitcoin, learn about Bitcoin. People that use Bitcoin and crypto interchangeably, they don't know what they're talking about. So forget about all the crypto scams. Bitcoin is the truth. Learn more about that. Learn more. Read books. We have it in the Amazon store. Read Price of Tomorrow. Read. There's a lot of great podcasts on there. I'm not going to go through all the books right now, but I would avoid crypto like the plague and focus on learning about Bitcoin. And then when you learn more about Bitcoin, then you can invest. It's great savings technology. And then as you learn more and as your conviction grows, you can adjust how much you invest or what you invest and how you do it. Learn how to cold storage, learn about inventing Bitcoin is a great little pamphlet that teaches you everything about the structure, how it actually works. You could read the Bitcoin white paper. Like I would recommend learning about that, and it will definitely educate you about all aspects of finance and politics and social. It's everything. Bitcoin is everything. Money is everything. So learn about that. Fuck crypto. Learn about Bitcoin. Jay, not financial advice, but just the best advice. JJAS Kolka 13, Papa Swolio, do you sleep at the gym or is the gym in your house? My house is at my gym. So I don't have a gym at my house. I have a house at my gym. So I guess technically I sleep at the gym, but it's at my house. Ernie Niblak, Papa Swolio, what meal prep company do you recommend? I don't recommend any. I recommend making your own food and getting grass-fed and finished beef and organ meats and raw dairy and everything that you can afford and that you can access. You can find all these things online. Go to realmilk.com if you want to find raw dairy in your area. There's tons and tons of sites and supermarket chains and stuff that sell grass-fed and grass-finished beef. So I don't recommend meal prep companies. I think you should prep your food yourself. 1 foot in the grave. God damn. Do you have any tips on workouts for folks missing a leg? Do I have any tips? Never skip leg day. I would say the same stuff. I would say you have to be careful about imbalances And it depends on, I would say, look, it depends on where you're missing the leg, whether it's below the knee or above the knee, because you can still tie straps and stuff to your other leg. The problem with having one leg or only training one leg or having a dominant leg, for example, is you're going to have maybe rotation issues. You might have back issues because you have certain side of your body that's more activated than another. So you can create some sort of balance, especially if you have, maybe a partial leg or below the knee or whatever it is, in order to activate your QL, definitely do core work and learn how to create balance on both sides. But whether or not you do free weights, whether or not you do machines, my recommendations are to train. But those are my tips. I would just be very aware and learn about mobility and learn about the result of having certain muscles. Obviously you don't have certain muscles, but learning how the body will compensate. That way you can address some of these other movements if you're having issues elsewhere. So if you're missing and you really don't have that stability around your pelvis, you may have back pain. You may have shoulder pain because of your body compensating for having one leg. And like I said, depends on your individual situation. So I would definitely learn about corrective exercise and learn about the physiology and kinesiology and understand how your body will compensate so you can create balance, so you can avoid maybe some of those issues. Let's take a call. If you want to call into the show, you can do so anytime. AskPapaSwolio.com. Moving right along, drop any live questions, hashtag AskPapaSwolio in the chat. We got one from Marcus. You are on the Schleescast. Marcus.
Hi, your swollenness. Hope you're doing well. My question is in regards to education. I know we've talked on the podcast about basically college and how it's a scam and so on and so forth. So right now I have a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration and management, and I am being pressured by a lot of people to go get my master's so I can quote unquote further my job search. But I've explained to them multiple times that I have not received the benefits of my bachelor's yet. I'm paying a mortgage, and because of how the job market is, it's essentially hard to find a job even with someone that has an associate. So my question is it even worth getting a master's or any higher education in this day and age when the rate of return, I hope I'm using that correct, is very low?
You're kind of answering your own question. I think it's kind of like, shit, I made this decision. Are you going to dig yourself into a deeper hole? I think is really the question, because you're already in a sense at a dead end and you realize, shit, do I go further? I really think maybe in the past a master's actually meant something. Today, I don't think it does. I do think because the government and because of all this bullshit and the administrative fees and the business that is the education system, everyone had to go to college. You have to go to college. You have to go to college. And the problem now, we have all these bullshit wasted degrees and we don't have enough people doing trade work. We don't have enough people that are actually taking the jobs that make this country run. And, you might be in a situation where you realize, shit, I have this bachelor's degree. I'm not going to be able to pay this back. I'm not going to find a job unless I have a master's, which is going to be another 60, 80, 90, 100, who knows how many, depends on whatever that program is or where you're going. And then you're probably going to be in the same boat. So that's the issue. You're probably going to get a master's and you're still going to be in the same spot. So that is not necessarily going to be the answer for you. And whether or not you start your own business that's really, look, the problem is the government shutting down small businesses, stripping people of their rights and their ability to, and disincentivizing people to start their own businesses. That's really where you get, quote, your wealth and freedom. You get to create something, creating a business, creating something that you enjoy to do. So you could start your own business. Of course, there's risk. Entrepreneurship is not easy, and depends on what market you're doing it or what approach you're taking. That can be, hit or miss. So it really depends on if it's capital intensive, et cetera, et cetera. It's quite possible your best course of action is to maybe go back to the drawing board and do something with like a trade school or something where you're actually going to learn a skill that is valuable to society, where there's a multitude of jobs. Jay Money says degrees these days are just people choosing their level of debt and their starting entry level salaries. So the thing is, you might find, and this is just me talking, off the top of my head, but I'm really glad I didn't get a master's degree. I could have gotten a master's degree in exercise physiology or whatever you do after you get a degree in exercise science. And my advisor, and this is back in like 05 or 04, was really on the money. He's like, why don't you go do some personal training for a little bit? And then if you find something and what you want to do, and if you figure out you want to do something and you need a master's to do it, then you can go back and get yours. And I didn't need a 4-year fucking degree to do personal training. So I look back on that. I learned everything myself. Yeah, I took some classes and this, that, and the other, and I went through, but really what I learned about fitness and health had nothing to do with what I learned in school. I learned more about kinesiology, just digging into it myself and obsessing over it because I was interested in it. So at the time, 20 years ago, a degree definitely got you into certain places where that was a requirement. But now a degree is a dime a dozen. Everyone's got a bachelor's. Everyone's got a degree in something. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. That's the standard. It used to be, you get a degree, oh my God, you went to college. But now you realize you're getting brainwashed and everything's super diluted. You're not, people that are coming out of college, if I'm and I will be honest with you, if I'm hiring people, the last thing I care about for my business is whether or not someone went to college. I'd prefer not going to college because then you're not brainwashed as much. Okay. You're more malleable. You're able to learn new skills. It's about, do you learn well and do you apply information, and are you able to work in a team effectively? So I don't care if someone has a master's degree. Like if you can video edit, for example, I don't care what the fuck you do. I don't care if it's I do not care. I don't care about anything. Do you have the skills? So yeah, what'd you say? Healthcare like, I don't even know again, just saying this, and this is not to be insulting, I don't even know what that means. What does that even mean? What do you do with that? Is it healthcare administration and management or business? It's like, they have these degrees in business taught by people who are teachers at a school. It's like, no, you want to learn how to do business, go work, go start a business, go work for something and shadow someone that has businesses, that has successful businesses. I sit in a classroom and learn about business, go out there and do business. And honestly, if you don't start something for yourself, you're always working for people. You're always going to have customers. You're always going to have to work, quote unquote, for someone. But if you want to maximize your time and do something you truly enjoy, create something based around what you truly enjoy. So this could be definitely some sort of introspective time for you. But my recommendation, based on my experience and what I was told, I think what's going to happen is, I think what you do, if you go and get a master's, be the same thing. Now you have a bachelor's and you're like, well, now I can't fucking get work, and now I have to get a master's. That's the trap. So you're going to get a master's and you're going to be in the same spot because everyone's got a fucking master's now. So you're just going to be more in debt. And just once you understand that the government or these schools, they don't fucking care if you pay it back. The whole goal is for them to get the money. So these grants or the loans or whatever, the school wants the money. Once you go there, the school doesn't give a shit. They're not placing you at jobs. They don't give a fuck. That's the problem. They don't give a fuck. That's why they're teaching people bullshit jobs, bullshit degrees. If the school was required, here's what would be really great, if the university didn't get money until you got placed at a job, right? What about that? What about they don't get their money, or they get a bonus, right? The school gets like the bare minimum. But then if they want that extra $50,000 per student at the end, they had to place them in a job and they actually had to be successful. They would not have bullshit degrees. They wouldn't have gender studies and whatever like that. They would actually have to apply. So if you're doing STEM, if you're doing science, technology, engineering, math, if you're doing something that requires a degree for certain things, yeah, okay, you have to do certain things. You have to go through a certain process if you want to work in a certain field, if you want to have a specific thing. But you can start your business in anything. You could have a doctor's medical center. You can own a medical center and get into that. You don't have to be a doctor. You just have to hire them. So, there's a lot of, these medical centers or strip malls or where they have a bunch of dentists or doctors, and you don't have to be a doctor to run that company. You just need to have people that are able to provide those services, this, that, and the other. So you can get involved with these different industries without being the expert yourself. But that's business, right? That's knowing how to run a business and how to hire and insurance and capital. And that's a whole different thing, but you can definitely do. I don't know anything about you aside from what you just said. So I know that was a little bit of a rant. Apprenticeships. Yeah. I really just think today, the question is, what job are you going to get now? If you can't find something now, getting a master's will put you more in debt. And the chance of you finding something that's going to allow you to live and to progress and to make progress and keep up with inflation and pay down your student loans, I think it's going to be, you're just going to be deeper in that hole. So why dig yourself into a further hole when it's even going to be potentially more uncertain? There are a lot of companies that see a master's degree. I don't think people care. A lot more now. If you see that on a resume, you're going to be like, I don't know. It's like seeing pronouns on a resume. Someone submits a resume, the pronouns, you're like, fuck this person. You know, they go to Harvard or Columbia, you're like, yikes, that's a red flag, you know? So degrees and stuff are definitely getting a different stigma, rightfully so. So this next phase is going to be, this is why it's going to be a hot mess. This is why the economy and everything's teetering, because you have so many people with bullshit degrees. That's why they're paying off loans. Everyone's getting fucked. Things are going to get worse before they get better. And that's why it's collapsing, because you're not getting the value. Just because someone graduated from college or has a master's, a lot of times they're just big children. They have no idea how the world works. They expect everything to be easy because school is fucking easy. It is. You're sitting there, learning and copying it down and write what the teacher told me to do. You get out into the real world, you realize nothing is like this and you're useless. A lot of these people that get out of college, they don't know how to do things autonomously and work on their own and actually be proactive. So people that run companies don't want to be like a father. They want people to take initiative and et cetera, et cetera. So you need something that's going to have turnaround. Like you really want to make some money, get certified in underwater welding or something like that and make bank. And then you can stockpile money and start a business based on what you want or something like that. Just a thought. I mean, if I had to do it again, I did this and I have a degree from 25 years ago, but I always talk about it. I'm like, shit, that was a waste of time and money. I don't, and look, I had experiences and I can always, with anything, there's good and bad, there's pros and cons. So I don't just sit here and just knock my degree. And at the time, that was a decision that I made. That's what happened. I can't go back. So it is what it is, but I would definitely not do it now. Sheena says, I had a student internship at an insurance company back when I was 17, 24 years later. I'm still there and much higher up in the organization. Didn't need a degree, but I got them anyway. J Money, I've learned more since graduating college 2 years ago than I did in college. So here's the thing. If you learn more since graduating college 2 years ago, imagine if you started learning that stuff or whatever you learned since then 4 years before. You would be 4 years ahead of where you are now in terms of learning and however much money not in debt. So when you start averaging out how much people make long term, you have to understand that if you're $200,000 in debt after 4 years, you're $200,000 in the negative, scraping and scratching and clawing with that yoke around your neck, that slavery yoke for the rest of your life. And some people never pay this shit off. So if you were going to make $200,000 a year right out of college and that was guaranteed pretty much, oh shit, that's a good deal, isn't it? You go to college 4 years, $200,000 in debt, you start making $200,000 a year, you pay it off in a couple of years, problem solved. But if you're graduating from a 4-year degree and like, should I get in more debt because I can't get a job after that? It's going to be the same situation. And this is why when there's a lot of competition or the market is saturated, you need to find the white space. You need to find those areas where there's an opening. And if you create something for yourself that's unique, it's that little signal within the noise. Just take the road less traveled because there's less competition. So if you're trying to go higher and excel and go even further, there's less competition because most people are battling for the middle. They're battling for like the lowest rung on the ladder. Most people getting out of college, they just want things handed to them and they don't want to put in a lot of work and they just expect it's going to be coasting. But people are getting out of college and getting upset and, oh my God. And they're all anxious and crying in videos on TikTok and Instagram because they're not really taught anything. And they're thrown out in the real world and realize, oh shit, it's completely different. So people tend to go back and get another master's degree and then get their doctorate and then become a teacher and then stay in this little education bubble because it's safe. They were there since they were 5 years old. The real world's scary. Just keep me in here and keep me learning nonsense or talking about bullshit as long as I don't have to go out in the real world and expose myself to reality. Just some thoughts there. Charisma. I tell people college is a waste of time and that you can learn everything online except experience. Crazy how much backlash I get. It's absolutely true. Look, I learned, you want to learn about fitness, start lifting in the gym and start reading and learning and absorbing as much as you can. It's not complicated. It really isn't. You're telling me that someone has to go, you ready for this? I'm not saying you're not going to learn stuff that's important in medical school, but medical school is really just a place to weed people out. Like with any college, you don't really get into the most important courses until your third or fourth year. So what are you doing for the first 2 years? Just suckling and draining money. The administration, the administrative bloat in the colleges and universities is just making bank. So you do like, survey classes and all this bullshit liberal arts crap. Medical school, the first couple semesters, right? It's anatomy. It's super hardcore and detailed. It's to weed out people that you're not really learning anything. It's just memorization. So if you took a person, let's say you want to be a surgeon, I really wonder. And of course, the quality of the person and the person that's really disciplined, if you're going to go through those trials and tribulations, like, yeah, you really want it bad enough. Okay. So I'm not saying there aren't benefits from medical school, but I'm saying if you took someone who really wanted to be, they were smart, intelligent, anyone who would, a person that would normally go to medical school and do all that stuff. What if they wanted to be a heart surgeon? And instead of doing the 4 years and then, whatever, they just shadowed from day one and just put in hundreds and hundreds and just hours and hours and hours from the start, not the 4 years. And then the last year or so, they did a rotation and residency. Like they just did it from the start. You just shadowed and helped and handed and just did everything and learned from what you actually do, from what actually happens. And you look at the x-rays and the MRIs and you just study and you follow every step. I wonder how much different it would be. You would learn the same stuff, right? You would learn shit. You would learn from experience. I'm not saying that's the best way to do it. I'm just saying we all know that you learn from doing. Okay. J Money says, I don't have any debt. It's all paid off, thankfully. Well, that's good. But I agree, ever since COVID, academia has become a true hellscape. And this is from long before COVID. Long before COVID. This is just the exposure. So COVID and social media was at the peak and really where everyone has a cell phone. When you go back to 2001, people had the internet, but not everyone had the internet. People were like, oh, do you have the email? The World Wide Web, the information superhighway. Come on, guys. You remember that shit? So people knew it existed, but it wasn't in everyone's hand. Not everyone had a cell phone and everyone's online. Your grandmother's on Instagram shit posting. So we didn't have that. Now it's just with COVID, it just ramped everything up. People learned and absorbed information and just the house of cards collapsed because we had everyone with a camera and a phone. You can't gaslight the same way that you did 20 years ago. Everyone can see the riots of 2020. Everyone saw it everywhere in their faces. People are seeing everything in their hands. They're seeing the censorship. They're seeing the lies, so it's just different. It's just different, but academia has been a hellscape for decades. It just got exposed. Even when I was there, I looking back on certain things, I remember, oh yeah, the kind of classes that were being taught, there were certain things that were just completely nonsense. And that's it. That's the way it was. Sheena says, I was often looked down upon by my friends that went away to college because I chose to go to a community college for significantly less money. It used to be a thing. Oh, community college. It used to be you went to a community college because, you were too stupid to go to college and it's the smart move. It was the smart move. No one cares what college you went to, especially once you've been in the field for a while. And if you got in and you shadowed someone and you apprenticed and you worked your way up, once you've been, let's say, the head of this regional department for this company, but 15 years ago, You went to community college. No one cares. You have 15 years of experience. The problem is, how do you get experience without experience? So a lot of times you go to a job, you go to a place, and they want someone with more experience. Well, how do I get experience without experience? It's it's who you know. It's networking. It's offering to work for free and just being around it. You got to hustle, but you can definitely do it without getting into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. Kika Foodie, Papa Swole. I started my own coffee shop 1 year ago in Argentina. I took the experience of working in several to build my own. Working for some companies brainwash you and make you think it's the best you can be. Good for you. Yeah. And honestly, a lot of times people start companies and they don't actually work in them. I taught some classes. This is forever ago. I was doing some training and stuff at a gym, kind of consulting, working with this guy who just bought a gym and was setting it up. And I was working there. It was awful. It was run terribly. This guy had no idea anything about fitness. And I realized that pretty quickly. So I knew, okay, this is going to be a bomb. So I just I bided my time and I dipped after a little bit. But working in the industry that you want, you're going to learn what the good parts and what the bad parts are about it. So Kika's saying, I started my own coffee shop, but I worked in several to build my own. She knows, hey, this would have been better. Because a lot of times when you're a business owner or you come in, you don't really know the industry well. You're trying to maximize profits. So you're cutting corners here. It might not be best for the worker. So you're like, oh, I would hate to have the serving place right there. You put it right next to this. It sucks. You can't get around it. Then you create your own. You know how to optimize it for the workers, for the customers, and it can just be better overall. Learn how to solve those pain points. All right, let's see. Allison. I'm in school to be an x-ray tech now, and we have to do clinicals where we basically just do the job for free for experience. Yeah, these places are, the classes are honestly a waste of time, and I learn more from reading. Yep. But of course, you need to go to school to be an x-ray tech, right? You have to have school, you have to get a certification, right? Or whatever afterwards. So if you want to do that, so in other words, if you want to be an x-ray tech, you're going to have to do certain things that allow you to be certified or to be whatever it is to be an x-ray tech. So that's what I'm saying. If you really want to do something, I need to do X, A, B, and C to do that. That's different. But most things in college, you don't have to do that to do that. You don't have to get a 4-year degree to be a personal trainer. You can get certifications online. Doesn't mean you're going to be good or know what you're talking about. But I know people that are well certified, every certification, but they don't really know what they're talking about. And I know people that never really had a certification and they're very knowledgeable and they had lots of clients and they just, they didn't go to college, they didn't do this. They're just personable and they know how to, and they're in good shape and they make their clients laugh and people like to be around them and they pay them money for personal training. So I went to school for 4 years and then ended up doing personal training and then doing different stuff. It did help me get a certain job because they wanted someone with a degree, which helped. So at the time, it led me to something that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I didn't have a degree. But the degree didn't help me with my knowledge in that sense. So I got something because back in 2008 or something, it was like, a degree. I was teaching at a school. So the degree helped me because they needed someone like with insurance or legal. I didn't have a master's in teaching, but it was a degree in this, that, and the other. So it got me my foot in the door for an interview and stuff and went from there. So it did benefit me for that, but my knowledge didn't come from college. It came from being in the gym and learning and doing it. All right. So let's take another question. That was a long, that was good stuff. So hopefully you find your way, Marcus. AskPapaSwolio.com if you will call into the show. Let's do another one. Melba, you were on the line and you can go to this website and call in anytime, anywhere. Go ahead.
Where did you learn to say ve al puto gimnasio in Spanish? I love it.
Well, thank you. Well, I took Spanish in classes ever since you had to take a language in school up through college. And then living in Florida and dating people that spoke Spanish and living in Miami and doing all this different stuff, like you get exposed to it. But then when I was doing go to the fucking gym, I asked, get a couple opinions like, hey, what's the best way to say this with slang? Because there's a lot of different dialects in Spanish. There's like Spain, there's South America, there's Mexico. There's a lot of different types and dialects and slang in Spanish. So cross-checked a couple times, like, cool, that's the best way. That's the closest translation, and then boom. Not hard to find someone that speaks Spanish down here. Let's see, J Money, that's the problem. Lots of employers still want that piece of paper. It's degreeflation. Yeah, a lot of employers will say, well, that's the standard now. It used to be not, college used to put you at a whole different level. Whoa, you went to college. That's fantastic. Now everyone's going to college. So that's just the minimum. You know, requirements for your degree, master's degree. They just put that there because most people have them. But just because we know this, having a master's degree definitely doesn't give you skills. Doesn't show that you know what you're doing. Aaliyah Fitzgerald, Papa Swolio. I'm a news reporter for an NBC affiliate in SoCal. I've learned more about the industry in my first market than I ever did in college. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're not taught business in school, for example, doing exercise science. So when I went out to be a personal trainer, what is it really teaching you? You go out to be a personal trainer. Okay, exercise, that the training stuff. If you go out to be a personal trainer, yeah, you work for a gym, whatever, or you're going to be a private trainer, that's having your own business. Being a private personal, that's your own business. So you can go and learn about the heart, learn about the shoulder. Cool. How do you sell? How do you incorporate? How do you tax? How do you take payments? How do you market? How do you advertise? How do you retain clients? It's like all this stuff you're just not taught. You're not taught. You're not taught unless you have a father that knows business or you really expose yourself or you shadow someone. You're not taught this. So I resent a lot of like my education or lack thereof. Because like, you know, no one in my family really had like a business or business sense or anything like that. It's just thrown out. You're just in debt. And then it's okay. You still don't know what the fuck you're doing you're supposed to go to college and figure out what you want to study. It's the stupidest thing. After high school, everyone should after high school, whether or not you go homeschool, but everyone should probably either travel or serve in the military or do some like sort of community service, you know, try different things. That's when you should be testing things. That's when you should be trying different apprenticeships and stuff after high school. And then if you need to go and get higher education, you want to be a lawyer, well, then you have to do X, Y, and Z. That's when it should be applicable. All right. Just thinking about it pisses me off. The education system in this country is trash. All right. What I mean by trash is not necessarily the specifics, but just how it's structured and how much it costs. It's just unnecessary. But the reason why it costs so much when you have 50 people that are like diversity hires, that you're HR, human resources, and everyone's trying to like protect everyone's pronoun on campus. And, you know, you have like, I don't know, all these different delegations and committees and stuff of just this woke ass bloat for the, you know, the Marxist shit that has infiltrated our country and all the campuses. It's just a waste of money. You're paying for all the administrative bloat. You're paying for all those worthless jobs. All right. One foot in the grave. Let's see. Elisa Blankenship, Papa Swolio, what are the best mobility exercise that you keep in your routine? Well, there's no best of anything, but there's a lot of great ones. Dead hangs, doing any sort of yoga. I do a lot of like elevated pigeon. I do a lot of Cossack squats, just a lot of them. Wrist stuff, club work. I can't just be like, what are the best ones? Depends on what you need, where you need mobility the most and what you're trying to do. So mobility is great anywhere. You can just do yoga, but doing stuff weighted, Jefferson curls, there's a lot of great ones. Georgia, May 2008. How do you motivate yourself to go to the gym? I don't. I go because it's time to go. Motivation is bullshit. Going to move right along with that question because it sucks. Fuck your motivation. Samuel Stark Silva, Papa Swolio, what are your thoughts of peptides and other enhancers like RAD 140? RAD 140? Are you talking about like Red 40, the artificial flavoring? I've never heard of RAD 40. I don't use peptides. I don't know anything about them to be able to answer this question. Scarlett Jonancy, 34, Papa Swolio. I went from 235 pounds to 208 pounds. I cut out all those carbs, but I plateau. Well, are you lifting weights? Are you lifting heavy weights? I don't know what else you're eating. It's not just, you cut carbs, you're going to lose water weight. So that could have been a majority water weight, not fat, FYI. I don't know what else you're eating. So lifting heavy weights, doing an elimination diet, check us out, swolenormousx.com. If you're not lifting heavy weights and training hard, you're definitely going to plateau. Because then now you're just eating the same amount of calories every day. So your body's going to lose extra weight or fat or muscle, whatever it is, and then hit that even point. Either you keep on eating less and less and less, but if you're not eating nutrient dense food, you're starving yourself. You're going to have other problems or inflammation. So there's that. Casualty, what are your thoughts on the use of pre-workout? I think if you want to take things before your workout, I say make it yourself. That way you're not adding stevia and monk fruit and sucralose and aspartame and tons of stimulants. You got some black coffee and go smash, or you can take individual ingredients and mix them in and weigh them out yourself, whether it's citrulline or beta-alanine, creatine, glutamine, whatever it is. So I say if you're going to make it, use something that's well tested and use an efficacious dose and then weigh it yourself so you know what you're getting and you're actually getting what you need. Because a lot of these pre-workouts have a ton of stimulants like anhydrous, like powdered caffeine, and then they underdose the things that will actually benefit you pre-workout. Alec Sierig, Papa Swolio, what's your thought on working out in the morning on an empty stomach? If you prefer it, there's nothing wrong with it. You're going to have to get used to it. So you might not feel super strong first thing in the morning, but I've done it before. And after you start lifting or training, and you just have to get used to it. So your first workout, if you're like, I'm going to start working out first thing, wake up and start training, you might feel flat. You might feel a little bit drained, but you will get used to it and you will start performing better. So whether you want to wake up and have a little something or something like honey or whatever it is, but there's nothing wrong with it as long as you perform better. So when you train is not, I have recommendations. If you're saying, which one would you recommend, working out first thing or working out at night? Well, if you're giving me a choice, working out earlier in the day is going to be better. But that's like, I'm not really interested so much in when you train, or I'm not really so much interested in what you eat or what you do before or after. It's really about what you're consuming in general. And when you do it, it's pretty much individual. So if you're performing and seeing great results and wow, I train first thing in the morning, empty stomach, I feel great, I'm training hard, I look great, I'm making progress, then keep going. If not, then you can reassess. That's the last question. All right, anything else live? Last chance. Questions? Good questions. Good stuff. A lot on the degrees, and yeah, that's a good one. All right. Good stuff, fam. Hashtag GTTFG. Let's give away this gangster card. Falcons. Kick us away. Hashtag GTTFG. We got our accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Join us, swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. No one really dropped that hashtag. I guess I didn't talk about it enough. All right, fam. Today's winner. Well, if you don't drop the hashtag, there's not many to choose from. Positive Charisma. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Onzarumble. Oh, I just saw a question earlier. I might have missed it. I'll take that in a second. I just saw one up here. PK, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2984 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. Like I said, we do have another question. I missed it because was going deep on the apprenticeships one, but we have one from Lavash. So congratulations, PK. Send us that email. Lavash Armo on Rumble says, Papa Swolio, how am I supposed to believe in true love? Oof, deep question. How am I supposed to believe in true love after who I truly thought was the love of my life left me? Well, I think the issue with this is I don't know if that necessarily exists. True love, it's just like fleeting feelings. You need to find, what's really most important, because those initial feelings of love, like that frantic initial 6 months or a year or two, that's going to fade. So you really need to find someone that has similar cultural views, political views, social views. That's really the most important thing, especially nowadays. And overall, it used to be, well, most people's brains weren't broken. Most people weren't as, unstable as they are today. But that's really super important, is if you're finding someone, male or female, you want to make sure that they have similar values. I would say that's the most important thing that's going to keep you together. And there's so many different combinations of people that will connect, different types of personalities. Sometimes it's likes attract. And sometimes, Mama Swolio and I, we have a lot of things in common. But we also have different interests, right? She's into hair and makeup and all this stuff. And I'm like, she'll show me all these different things and like, okay, whatever. But she's the same way with gym equipment or different things that I'm interested in. So it doesn't have to be everything absolutely the same, but it's really what you're going to connect on. Because if you're going to meet someone, the whole point is to have a family and have that kind of long-term bond. So what really is going to cause conflict is like, how do you take care of, do you both care about your health? Are you eating properly? Are you getting quality sleep? Do you have similar beliefs in terms of society, in terms of, like I said, politics, culture? Like, that's exceptionally important. It always has been. It's even more important now. And that's going to ensure that you're on the same page. And communication, just being honest. So, is that true love? I mean, I think that's just marketing. I think there is something there. I don't think there's necessarily a definition. I think everyone's definition is different. A lot of people's true love is like, I'm happy with this person or I'm turned on. It's like things change. Can you grow with this person? Do you communicate openly? And yeah, just some initial thoughts. But I would just be careful with like the marketing and the hallmark aspect of it. Like Rocky famously said, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean? So it really needs to, the honeymoon phase. It's really important for you and the other person to communicate openly and to connect and making sure you're on the same page with all those things. It's much more important than whatever like name you want to call it. I'm not knocking love or true love, but that's just some sort of, that's like a Hollywood type thing. So people are talking about like, finding happiness. I think that's the worst goal. You need purpose, you need peace, you need to find your place in this world and give to your community based on your skills and based on, what you enjoy doing, your passions, but what your skills are. What can you bring to the table for society to exchange for money, to exchange for human energy, to provide value to your community or to the world? And that's going to give you money, and that's going to give you security and wealth and X, Y, and Z with other proper habits. But looking for true love is not the goal per se. So how you're supposed to believe in it, I don't think it matters if you believe in it. And maybe the other question is, rather than what happened in the past, because that's in the past, if it was going to work out, it would have worked out, and it didn't. So maybe it wasn't what you thought it was. So it feels like maybe a rug pull, but maybe it's because you set yourself up for that rug pull. You thought it was something that it wasn't, or you were focusing on different metrics, and maybe you weren't focusing on fully developing yourself, and maybe you just didn't connect where you thought you did. So it takes two, right? So it doesn't really matter what you thought. And I'm not saying this to be cruel, but when you said, to who I truly thought was the love of my life, it doesn't really matter what you thought. I think it's maybe you were deluding yourself. Maybe it wasn't paying attention. Maybe you weren't focusing on developing yourself as an individual. Maybe you grew apart. I don't know how long you were together. And again, this is not supposed to drag you down. It's supposed to maybe give you some more insights as to, if you focus on yourself and focus on developing yourself, you're going to be interacting with other people. You have to be more of a whole person yourself. And one of the problems is a lot of people are half cooked when they meet someone, and then they find their way as they're with someone, and then they grow apart because then they realize, oh shit, this is what I'm about. This is what I want to do. And the other person is not that. And you start going different directions, like, oh shit. So if you kind of figure out what you're all about, and this is the problem with people delaying, I'm just going to go off on a different tangent here. This is a problem with people delaying going out into the real world and coming out of a college bubble when they're like 25, is by the time you're out in the real world, you haven't really worked on yourself and developed yourself. You've just kind of been like, taught, and the institutions have been just vomiting and brainwashing you for 20 years. So then you come out, you're a half-cooked person. You're not really fully developed until you're like, 30 to 35. So everything's been delayed and stunted. And then it's hard to find someone, if you're a woman and you're in your 30s or 40s, you're on the back nine. As a man, it's like you're getting a late start. So it's a whole different thing than getting out and working and developing yourself earlier on. And then when you know what you're about and you know more about who you are by developing yourself as an individual, especially as a man, then you actually know what you're looking for. And you're a more valuable person to the other. Let's see. Sheena says, sometimes we believe people are who we want them to be instead of seeing them for who they really are. That's how red flags are often overlooked. Yeah, and a lot of times people find someone or find a trait. They're constantly with people who suck. They're constantly getting into bad relationships, and that's really more of a reflection of them and what they're looking for in other people, maybe from a broken family or for some issue. People that are cyclically getting with people that are crazy or abusive. It's not them. They are just a magnet. Are they a magnet for those abusive people? No, they're just accepting, or that's what they're looking for subconsciously, and they haven't unpacked their own baggage and realized that they're the common theme in all those bad relationships. So people that cyclically get the same thing over and over again, yeah, those people might have been pieces of shit, but you also don't have to be with them. So yeah, and I think also having this idea that when you talk about true love, what does that sound like from a Hallmark standpoint, right? You say true love, there's this kind of idea that it's easy. Oh, if you have true love and this is my true love, it's going to be unicorns and rainbows. And no. It's going to be hard as shit. There's always going to be ups and downs. People are going to die. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to lose your physical health. That's why you want to take care of it as best as you can so you can be fit and mobile and healthy for the other person and for yourself. But I think true love has this idea of just, it's romanticized, and it's not really. Again, the word means different things for different people. It's not supposed to be easy and flawless. There's going to be arguments. You're not going to have a relationship without arguments, period. But it's how you argue, right? It's how you argue. It's how you overcome. It's how you finish an argument. It's how you deal with it. It's how you it's that process of going through that. Mama Swolio and I will have arguments and stuff, but it just ends quickly. In part because I don't let things linger. Like, we finish the issue at hand. We don't go to separate rooms and cool off. Like, she might do that. She doesn't want to talk, but I guess, oh no, I handle it now. I hate things hanging over. Like, if there's any issue, it gets handled until it's done. But she appreciates it too. And she'll push back harder, but it's the same. You just know what's going to happen deep down. You just know the end point, and it's going to be. But a lot of times people project their own either anxieties or insecurities, and it comes out in other ways, right? It comes out with the dishwasher. It comes out with clothes on the floor or whatever it is. It comes out there. But if you don't handle those under deep-seated issues, it blows up into other things, and you're never really arguing about or discussing what you really should be if you're not taking care of yourself as an individual. Hopefully that's all making sense. Kind of talking around. Just talk about anything that pops into my head. Let's see, Lavash. So hopefully that gives you some more insights, but there's bright things ahead for you, I'm sure. I thought I was over it, and I saw her on Tinder last night. Guess not. Glad to see she's over it. Don't Tinder profiles stay on there? Or do they go off if it hasn't been used? Thought I was over it and then saw her on Tinder last night. Guess not. Glad. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of times you're looking for, when you find someone else, you're looking for parts of yourself in other people. But of course you can't make people like you. You can't change who they are. So I think maybe the answer is maybe you weren't. It could also be a strong self-realization. Maybe I wasn't in the right. Maybe you weren't where you needed to be to begin with. And it's obviously going to be a sharp realization, and it can be a little bit of a slap in the face, holy shit. Where I thought things were, it wasn't. How long were you with this person? Just curious. And then again, it's not the easiest thing to think about, but the phrase, it is what it is. It's kind of, it's true. It is what it is. So either you move on or you hang on to this forever, which is not worth it. But I would just go all in on not finding someone else or getting on Tinder again. It's like, that sounds like, I can't imagine being on Tinder right now in 2025. I know it's 2024, but like moving into it, 5 years. Were you living? I mean, you're probably living together where, yeah. I mean, you don't have to go too much. You don't have to go too much into the details. It's really hard. You just, it's one side here and just a couple text messages in the chat. You're not really going to get into the nitty gritty. But I think bottom line, now you have some time for some self-exploration and personal development, and then keeping your head down and finding someone else that reflects that in the future. It was also 7 years ago then she moved back. It was 5 years, but it was also 7 years ago, and then she moved back, and I'm at my best version of myself, and I guess it's not good enough. Yeah, that's not it, though. That's not true. It was 5 years. It was also 7 years ago. Then she moved back. I'm confused. You're at your best version of yourself. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not good enough for another person. Yeah, that's not true. Because once you realize that you are good enough, once you realize you're good enough, like you are, when you're putting forward the best version of yourself, truly, and you're really coming to your own, you're not going to have these second guesses. You just have more respect for yourself. Because honestly, this kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight. If it's 5 years, it's not like she woke up one day and like, okay, this is done. There was something that you were missing or weren't connecting on for a long time, or that wasn't there to begin with. And likely it's just as equal a part of her and her issue, not yours. So if she left and she's doing her own, like, it is what it is. I think it's just more like you got your car broken into. You feel victimized or rug pulled. And there's a part of like 5 years and all this stuff. And this is what happened. It could have just been you were blind to the actual situation. And there's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of shit out there. But I think you'll be better off. All right, fam. I hope we can continue this another time, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Just speculation, just some different thoughts and ideas, but it takes two people. It takes two people, and this is why communication is so important. And a lot of times people don't want to have the hard conversation or really have those talks early. So a lot of times people don't have those conversations when they first get into a relationship. Like, what are you looking for? A lot of people don't do that. They go on Tinder. What are you looking for? I'm looking for you have to put that in your bio. If you're looking for a long-term, like for example, Lavash, if you're looking for a wife, like, hey, I'm looking to have a serious relationship. I want to get married, this and the other. I bet a lot of people do not put that on Tinder. And you might be surprised. A lot of people do want this. I would like to get married. I want to start a family. You can, like, if put what you want out there, don't be embarrassed, because a lot of people won't do that. Right? They won't do that, and they'll think, if I do that, I'm just going to scare people away. Good. You don't want people that aren't serious in that sense. So yeah, you might not, some people, I guess, ooh, I don't want to have a family. I don't want to do that now. Okay. They're not for you. They're not going to swipe right or whatever it is. So you need to make sure that you are becoming the highest value you can be by furthering your career, making money, building yourself up and building your life and knowing what you actually want. I think you're going to realize it's always like this right away. You look back, come on, everyone's been hurt or broken up and you were sad or upset at the moment. I look back and it's like laughable. It's fucking laughable. It's laughable when I think back on certain situations like, oh my God, I was upset about that. Oh, I can't imagine being with that person today. And it's just like cringe. So time heals all, and that's no lie. certain pains and things, yeah, time will heal. It'll get better with time. But those types of things, those types of breakups, oh yeah. You're going to look back in a couple of years and be like, I can't believe I cared. Yeah. All right, fam. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Remember, link will be on your homepage. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And we got new releases tomorrow. Make sure you go check out merch if you didn't join the fam. Join us on swolenormousx.com. Going to go work on that app, and we'll talk soon. See you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Link will be on your homepage for the accountability meeting, and we'll have the new releases and accountability posts. I will send out that accountability text. Might be worded a little differently this week. So excited to hear what you have to say, and hopefully we can get everyone focused on the straight and narrow this week. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element. No,